My name is Megan. I'm 18. So, something pretty crazy happened a while ago. I ended up switching back and forth on this app called Tinder about 5 times. It was all just for fun, you know? Me and my friends used to have a laugh at some folks on there. We'd take pictures and joke about the profiles. It was how we passed the time, especially when we had loads of free time during high school. At first, I didn't really think the app was important. It was just for fun. But after using it casually for about a year, I thought maybe I should give it a try. I had been single for a long time. My last relationship was back in high school when I was about 16, so it had been a while. That's when I began talking to this guy named Sam. We only messaged each other through the app, but I really wished we could send voice messages. Tinder should definitely add that feature. After a few weeks, Sam said yes to meeting up. We decided to hang out by driving around at night, chatting and becoming friends. He lived nearby, just a few blocks from where I lived. It turns out, we went to the same high school, but he was a bit older. He had a part-time job in this really cool old car that his grandpa gave him. I thought that was awesome. Sam was kind of normal height with curly hair, and he was really good looking. I talked to him more to make sure everything was okay. I thought about telling him my friend was coming too, but I changed my mind. I chose to go alone and wish for the best. Now, when I think back, I realize that was a really bad choice. Before that time, Sam seemed normal, nothing suspicious. I didn't even have his phone number. We only talked on Tinder. When he arrived at my house, I got into his car. I was just wearing jeans and an old hoodie from my soccer team. Surprisingly, that hoodie still fit me from when I was 13. I guess I didn't grow much after that. We were driving and everything was nice at first. The night was beautiful with stars and the moon shining. I was feeling relaxed with him. He had a calming voice and seemed confident but relaxed. After a while, we reached a quiet place by the harbor, a good spot to hang out and talk. But things changed when we were coming back. Sam missed our exit twice and I started feeling worried. We ended up on dark country roads in the middle of nowhere. My phone had no signal. Sam became quiet and something felt wrong. He started ignoring my questions and I started to feel scared. We drove to the end of the road and found a gate. It was open enough for our car to go through. I got worried when I saw a farmhouse with trucks parked outside because something felt dangerous. My friend Sam was acting strange, and that made me really scared. I undid my seatbelt, and that's when things got really frightening. I tried to open the door quietly, but it made a noise. Sam grabbed my wrist and I got really scared. So, I opened the door quickly and jumped out while he was still driving. I fell down, rolled, and then just ran away. I didn't care about how much it hurt. I just had to get away. I ran as fast as I could back to the gate. I heard a car screech and stop, but my friend Sam didn't follow me. I quickly ran into the woods and hid among the trees, being as quiet as I could. I stayed hidden until his car went past. Then I went towards the main road. Finally, I got enough signal on my phone to call for help. When I called 911, the police came quickly. They listened to what happened, looked around the area, and started investigating. They tried to find Sam through the Tinder account, but it was hard because it seemed like a fake profile. It was really scary, but I'm just glad I managed to get away. The police looked around the harbor and talked to people who saw us there, but they didn't find a lot of information. I got help to deal with how scared I felt, but it was really hard. That night was the most terrifying thing I've ever been through. I still get scared when I think about what might have happened. It was my scariest experience meeting someone online, and now I'm super careful about meeting people from apps. I'm just happy I got away from that situation. Usually, I don't pick many people on Tinder, but Jessie's profile stood out. Her pictures seemed real, showing a nice smile and a love for fun stuff. Talking to her was nice, so we decided to meet up for a drink. I was really looking forward to it. Now, thinking back, I realize I should have been more careful because Jessie had surprising intentions. We picked a nice, comfy pub called Brick House, a place I knew well. I got there early and grabbed a seat near the window, watching for Jessie. She showed up on time, exactly like her pictures. She wore a pretty black dress and had a really friendly vibe. We started chatting, talking about our jobs, where we're from, and what we like to do for fun. Jessie was really good at listening, and I ended up telling her more than I usually do. When we got our drinks, I chose my regular IPA beer, but Jessie went for an elderflower cocktail because she said she enjoys sweet drinks. It seemed like she was trying to flirt, which made me feel kinda nice. We talked a lot, and Jessie paid a lot of attention, asking really good questions. I felt relaxed talking about my job, where I like to go, and sharing some random stories with her. I said I'd buy the next drinks, something I learned from my parents. When I came back with them, Jessie was really busy on her phone, saying it was urgent work. We were chatting while I drank my beer, but suddenly I felt super dizzy. Everything got too bright, and my arms and legs felt weird. I got really scared and couldn't understand what was going on. Jessie guided me to sit down, holding me tight. Everything started spinning, and the last thing I saw was her worried face before I passed out. I woke up feeling really confused in a hospital room, and my head hurt a lot. The doctors told me that I was found passed out behind the pub. Tests they did showed that someone had put drugs in my system. A detective came to talk to me about what happened. It turns out Jessie had walked me out before I got really sick, but then vanished with my stuff. I felt really upset and mad at myself for not realizing something was wrong earlier. This whole thing made me realize how important it is to be careful when I'm online. It was a tough lesson to learn. Police looked really hard to find out what happened. They watched the cameras at the pub and checked Jessie's stuff online, but it seemed like she disappeared suddenly. Her profile on Tinder, her phone number, everything was gone. It was like she was never there, which made it really tough to find her. The detectives thought she might be someone who tricks people for a living using different names to trap them. As they kept looking into it, they found more situations like this happening in different places. People were getting drugged and robbed after meeting someone on dating apps. They realized that what happened to Jessie was just one part of a bigger plan by a group of people. I had a hard time getting over what happened. I felt scared and didn't trust anyone online. The detectives tried to help, but I still felt unsafe and unsure about talking to people on the internet. For months, no one knew where Jessie was. I thought the police had given up looking, but then something amazing happened. Someone in another city saw a post about Jessie on social media from someone she hurt. That led to more people coming forward, and we finally found out who she really was and where she was hiding. Police acted fast and caught her in another state. It turns out she was working with a group of scammers. They pretend to be nice on dating apps, gain people's trust, then drug them and steal their stuff. When she got arrested, it made me feel a bit better and like things were ending. I felt relieved knowing she couldn't hurt anyone else. It made me feel a little better. Going through that changed me. I started being more careful and paying more attention, especially when I'm on the internet. Telling people what happened to me helped me warn them about how risky it can be to trust people you don't know online. It was a tough thing to go through, but it made me more careful when I'm online. Before I continue to the next story, if you are interested in earning from YouTube without showing your face, or without making videos by yourself using artificial intelligence, like the video that you are watching right now, then I have a special free training for you. Check the first link in the description below to get instant access. When I finished high school and when I started college, it felt like a whole new beginning. I decided to use dating apps to meet new people outside of my high school circle. That's when I found Maria. We were in the same grade before, but we didn't talk much. Talking to her now felt surprisingly nice, like catching up with someone I should have been closer to back then. We talked about high school and how we missed chances to hang out. Maria suggested we meet that night. I said we could go somewhere, but she wanted to come to my house, which I liked. I texted her my address, but she didn't reply. I texted again, but still got no response. I checked her social media and saw she was posting, but not answering my messages. I got confused. Was she avoiding me? Then she said she needed my app profile because she thought mine was fake. I sent it to her, and she confirmed it was fake. I reported it as a catfish. I got really scared because someone made a fake profile with my info, What scared me more was that they knew where I lived and that my parents weren't home. I locked everything up tight, but I felt really nervous all night. My sister and I tried to sleep, but we heard weird sounds. Something felt wrong. I couldn't reach our parents, and I had a bad feeling in my stomach. Then my sister screamed from her room. I panicked. It seemed like someone was outside her window. I rushed to look, but there was nobody there. I felt like things were really off. I tried calling our parents again and again, but couldn't reach them. My sister was too scared to stay alone, so she stayed in my room. I stayed downstairs, really worried that something bad might happen. When we got into bed, a scary sound surprised us. Our parents weren't supposed to be home, so I called 911. The person on the phone said to hide in the closet because there was a guy outside making threats and banging on our door. My sister couldn't stay quiet, but luckily, the guy went away, maybe because he heard the police coming. The police came and checked everything. They thought the intruder came in through our parents' window and ran away when my sister screamed. It really scared us. The police said we should stay somewhere else, so we stayed at our friend Joe's place. The next day, the police returned to find out more. They asked a lot of questions about the talk on Tinder, the fake account, and if I'd told any personal stuff. They were working hard to find who made the fake profile, but it was tough. The investigators searched our home for clues, fingerprints, anything useful. They looked at the window the person got in through and found some marks, but nothing clear. They said they'd keep looking to make sure we're safe. After that night, I became really careful. Before trusting anyone online, I made sure to check their profiles and details. The police suggested some safety steps, such as changing locks, being careful with personal info, and staying alert. It was frightening, but it taught me to be cautious. I now always verify who I talk to online and put safety first. Even as the investigation went on, I focused on making our home secure and ensuring my sister felt safe again. We got lucky in the end. The person didn't actually do anything bad, but we felt scared and unsure for some time. It made us realize that not everyone online is trustworthy. The investigation took a long time, but didn't move forward much. The police followed some online clues, but they didn't lead anywhere. They warned us to be careful, so we made sure to be really careful and watchful. After that happened, I started checking everyone I talked to online to make sure they were safe. I made sure my family knew how to stay safe too, in case something like that happened again. It really changed me. I became more careful and aware, especially about verifying who people are online. Even though the investigation didn't give us all the answers, we learned a lot from it. That night was really scary, but it taught us important things about staying safe online and being careful with our personal info. Even though the investigation didn't solve everything, it made us more watchful and cautious when we're online.